What is up, NFL fans, and welcome back to the very first for-year viewing pleasure of the 2025 NFL season. I'm Jeff Hartman, joined by Wesley Coleman. Wesley, what's up?
It's finally happening. There's football that counts, and it's
Yes.
starting now.
Yes. I mean, we never left. We just didn't call the show the same thing. So for those of you that listen to the way we see it, this is now transitioning back to for-year viewing pleasure. And in case you haven't been following from last season, this is where we preview the upcoming slate week of games. We have different categories. Quickly to run down these categories, we talk about primetime matchups, must-watch games in our opinion. We're doing a new upset alert category this week, sneaky good matchups, dud of the week, all that. So let's get this started with the primetime games like we do every single episode. Here's what we have this week in week one. Thursday night, NBC, Cowboys at Eagles. We'll talk about that game. And then we have Friday. People forget there's a Friday game. This is down in, is it Brazil again? Is that
Sao Paulo, Brazil.
there you go. Chiefs, Chargers down in Brazil. Sunday night football is going to be a good one. That's going to be Ravens at Bills. And then the Monday night game is the Minnesota Vikings at the Chicago Bears in prime time. So just from a overall perspective, Wesley, what do you think about this slate of primetime games?
I mean, I'm excited football's back. So I'll
Yeah.
just say when I'll say that for me, there's it's some of the primetime games I think they could have done better with for starting the season. But I'm happy. Just like for dud of the week, I'm happy there's football. But I think this heavily goes into that Baltimore Buffalo game. Like, I mean, it's just that's a massive looking game against the real MVP and the the other MVP.
Well, let me ask you about Thursday night first. Did this game lose any luster? Did it lose the luster with the Micah Parsons trade, in your opinion?
Um, so I think there's multiple things. One, I live in Dallas Fort Worth, so I
Yes.
live with Dallas Cowboy fatigue. But I I think that the Netflix show for me, I think would have the opposite. Now it was a good show, and it's interesting. It's cool to see that stuff. But I think that made people go just roll their eyes a whole bunch, and then immediately being followed by the Micah Parsons trade, you're just like, this team's not even serious. Like they've been lucky for 30 years or 35 years, and then the wrong person's getting credit for so many things, and like the players are tired of it, former coaches are tired of it, Micah Parsons got tired of it, and you're just like, I thought it was terrible timing for the Cowboys and for wanting people to be interested in them because it's just like, ugh, it was just a bunch of eye roll, and then they do this Parsons stuff that everybody agrees is a terrible trade.
Yes. Oh, well, and I can't, to be honest with you, I can't remember a situation where the Super Bowl championship team, the team that won it all last year, has not been talked about that much. When you think about the offseason chatter, it has not been surrounding the Eagles. Say what you want, they still have holes in their roster. I know, especially at pass rush, they lost something there.
Sweat went to the
Yeah.
Cardinals, yeah.
So when you think about that, like the Eagles, I think they still have a really good team. I think
Well, they
they're
did lose their offensive coordinator, Kellen Moore.
That's true. I think they're absolutely going to roll the Cowboys on Thursday night. You agree or disagree?
I I think the Cowboys offense is going to be better than people are expecting.
Okay.
This will be the first time ever that Dak Prescott has had two number one receivers. You might hate this. George Pickens is going to be really good for the Dallas Cowboys
Oh
this year.
yeah, I know that.
I think he's going to be crazy good because there's going to be so much attention on CeeDee Lamb, and CeeDee Lamb's going to be just fine. Um, if the Cowboys can figure out running the ball, which I think they're going to throw the ball to Miles Sanders quite a bit too, that offense and Dak Prescott being healthy, I think they have a lot to prove, and I think they're going to be exciting this year.
I think they're bordering on Cincinnati Bengals territory because I think their defense
It's gonna,
sucks.
I think the defense is gonna, but they're gonna stop the run up the middle. Did you not hear they traded for a defensive tackle? I mean, uh,
Oh my gosh, can
you know,
someone just get
you know,
Jerry Jones away from a
you
microphone? Like that's seriously what it comes down to. Get him away from a microphone. That's the
Jeff,
biggest thing.
don't underestimate the in-season moves the Cowboys do. They have picks they can trade. They don't have to wait to pick players. They can trade those now. Right now, they can trade them.
Oh my gosh, if I'm a Cowboys fan, I'm just like you said, rolling your eyes, like what the hell's going on? But let's not spend too much time
Too
there.
much time. Too much.
Yeah, Friday night, Chiefs Chargers is a sneaky good game in my opinion. This is a divisional matchup. I don't like divisional matchups in week one. That's just the way I always have been. But down in Brazil, that's a neutral site game. Last year, remember it was the Eagles and Packers on Friday night down there. It was the turf was a mess.
Mess,
They were
bad.
slipping all over. I remember Saquon Barkley's first carry, he slips and loses 4 yards, and everyone's like, "This is what we're expecting." What do you think about Chiefs Chargers?
So I think there's multiple things that like can make me. I'm not sure about it. One, is the turf going to be okay? The Chargers, Harbaugh likes to boring up the game a little bit. The Chiefs, like one, do the referees know that there's the Chiefs are supposed to win? Do like Portuguese speaking referees know that the Chiefs are supposed to win this game? And then like the Chiefs start slow. They kind of play ugly at the start of seasons most of the time. Like I'm not sure of this. I mean, it's cool. I'm glad there's a game on Friday. It's early in the season. I don't think it's going to be like a beautiful high scoring game.
No, it's like you said. You put it perfectly when you said Harbaugh likes to ugly it up. That's exactly the style he wants to play. He says, "Bring that on." So we'll see there. And then let's go to Monday night. We'll go to Sunday night after this one. Vikings Bears. I was shocked that this was the Monday night game on week 1. I get if this was maybe week 10 or week 11, but Monday night, week 1, Vikings with JJ McCarthy. We have no idea what that's going to look like. And then we get the Ben Johnson effect with the Bears. What do you think about this primetime game?
I think the Bears are going to do really well in this game. I like what they've done in this offseason if Caleb Williams puts it together. I think it's so weird how much hype there is on the rookie quarterback class of 2024 and that JJ McCarthy's thrown in there with those guys. Bo Nix went to the playoffs. Caleb Williams was a perennial #1 overall pick for 4 years before getting drafted, and Jaden Daniels had the best rookie season in the history of football for a rookie quarterback. And then Drake May is like, yeah, it's the Patriots. So
Stop with that.
that
Stop with that rookie
and
stuff.
and JJ McCarthy has done nothing. He hasn't played a snap. Like I don't know. It's just weird. I mean, he's got a couple of good receivers. He's got a really good offensive coordinator. I just yeah, it's a weird one.
2004 Ben Roethlisberger would like to have a talk with Jaden Daniels about the best rookie season, but that's neither here nor
How about this? Minnesota on the road, favored by 1.5,
as it should be.
with JJ McCarthy starting
They have by far the better roster, though.
for
The
sure.
Vikings have a great roster. The question is can the quarterback get the job done? And we don't know that. Vikings fans love to say they're going to be fine. I mean, I've got friends that are Vikings fans out. David Stefano, obviously, a fans first. They're like they're going to win a Super Bowl. Like, this guy has done nothing. Like, I'm not saying that he can't, but he hasn't proven it yet. How can I put money on that team or talk about that team? So that's neither here nor there. So let's go to the Sunday night game. Ravens at Bills. This is a rematch of last year's playoff game. I think this is the culminating event of the week
Yeah.
in terms of
Oh yeah.
games of the week. Like this game, the only thing I hope it doesn't turn into is just a slop fest where there's a bunch of turnovers because we know that Lamar and Josh Allen, they have that in their repertoire. What do you think about this Sunday night game?
I love it. It's just like that. It's way too early for anybody to be firing on all cylinders. It's way too early to, for it to be a positional in the AFC. But this actually could be a game that later on in the year, really late in the year, we're talking about. Well, remember that week 1 matchup when it's the difference maker and some tiebreakers or home field advantage or any of that. So I mean, it's nice to be able to hype up a game like this
Yeah.
in week 1.
Bills are giving 1.5 points at home. And this is a game where, last year the Ravens had to start off against Kansas City. And that was the game where Isaiah Likely's toe was that far out of bounds and it would have been a win for Baltimore. I love these early matchups because they, like you said, they do have significance. And this is the Ravens and Bills playing the AFC North matchup with the AFC East, but they would have played them anyways because of a first place schedule. That's going to be a really good game on Sunday night at
Jeff,
8:20.
by the way, saying that far and doing your fingers an inch apart on a audio
This is on
podcast,
YouTube.
not
This
not
is
not
also
great,
on YouTube.
not great podcasting.
This is also on YouTube for the visual people out there. All right, let's talk about our next category, must-watch games. So we talked about the primetime games, and it's okay to say that one of the primetime games is your must-watch game of the week. But is there a game that's not one of those primetime games that you are like, we got to watch? Like, this is something you want to, it's appointment viewing, we'll put it that way.
Detroit at Green Bay, that Sunday afternoon game. That's that's the big one I think of, like Detroit losing offensive and defensive coordinator, Aiden Hutchinson back. Like, what do they look like? Green Bay.
Micah
I mean,
Parsons.
is Jordan Love a real NFL quarterback? I mean, I know he's paid like one. I don't know. Um, no, it's that's a big one right there. Again, game that could come down and mean a whole lot at the very end of the season.
Yeah, and this is one of those weird things. Like that's an NFC game. CBS has this game. Like that's odd to me. And I think Nance and Romo are probably going to have this game, which they should. That's an A+ game. The Packers are giving 2.5. That's an interesting line there as they host at Lambeau. But I'm going to go with another NFC game, 4:05. I'm actually thinking that I'm curious. Let's just put it this way. Maybe not must watch, but we've talked about the must watch games. And you had the one I was going to pick. 49ers Seahawks is intriguing to me. NFC West matchup, Seahawks with, they had a lot of change. You know, Geno Smith is gone. DK Metcalf is gone. How do they handle that? You San Francisco 49ers, is Christian McCaffrey going to at least be healthy for one game this year? They are really, I feel like, a team in transition. The 49ers are. That's going to be an interesting matchup for me as it pertains to the NFC West. What's your take on that game? With the Seahawks, by the way, Seahawks are, oh my gosh, the Seahawks are home
They're-
dogs. They're getting two and a
Yep,
half. What do you
yep.
think?
It's interesting. There's a lot of questions for both of them. One is Brandon Ayuk able to play? Like, is he good? How's he able to, when's he coming back? What's he going to look like? But can Brock Purdy, now that he's paid like it, can he be the quarterback that doesn't have four weapons? Because when he had Kittle, Ayuk, Debo Samuel, and McCaffrey all healthy, he looked like a good quarterback. He's going to be missing a couple of them. And so just what does that look like? And then Seattle, I was a big Seattle fan last year, and I thought that they kept screwing up by throwing the ball more than everybody in the NFL, and they needed to keep Geno Smith to under 28 passes a game and run the ball more. If Kenneth Walker is healthy, I think he's one of the best running backs in football when healthy, and he should be healthy week one. Now that they have are they going to still just go Sam Darnold? Let's throw the ball 40 times a game, or are they learning from past mistakes and going to run the ball? I think they've got a really good defense. I think Seattle's defense is going to be good, and we'll see what their kind of game plan they can come up with.
That could be a low scoring affair in San Francisco, in
It could,
Seattle. It should
yeah.
be. Okay. Upset alert time, the new category, the new part of the show. We are going to be talking about a game that we think maybe, just maybe, there's an upset lurking. And in week one, it's difficult because really we don't know a lot about these teams. You can speculate, you can take preseason successes or failures and add that into it, but really we don't know. So who's your upset pick of the week, Wesley?
Well, the one we just talked about was a pretty good one that I think can go in there. Um, I'm I'm gonna there's a team that's giving up 2.5 points at home, and it's the New York Jets. And I'm not sure if Aaron Rodgers, how he's going to feel about going back to New York. I'm not sure how much, if not getting a lot of play time in the preseason, if he's going to start slow. There's a lot of changes on that Pittsburgh team. Now, some good changes. I think that people will work out. I'm just not sure how it looks in week one with a quarterback who didn't play a lot in game situations. And I think that Aaron Glenn is going to be really good at letting his defense play. And I think Justin Fields is going to be as motivated as he could be because I think he thought he was going to be the guy in Pittsburgh. And I don't think he agrees that they went with Russell Wilson so often. And I don't think he agrees that they didn't give him a fair, what he thought a fair contract was. So I think he's going to be really motivated. And I think Aaron Glenn's a coach that can ugly up a game. And this is going to be a close one at the end. I think there could be an upset here.
I don't know what to say. I don't
You,
know.
you, you haven't considered the possibility y'all could
Oh,
lose
yeah.
your week one game?
Absolutely, you consider that. But at the same time, I think about, in terms of game planning, the Steelers know what they have, what they, meaning the Jets, have in Justin Fields. No one knows what Aaron Rodgers is going to look like in the Steelers offense, and no one knows what it's going to look like with DK Metcalf. Like you said, there's been a ton of turnover on the Steelers side of things, and so it's going to be interesting exactly how that goes. Okay, let's go with I'm going to go with the upset pick of Patriots hosting the Raiders. Now, the Raiders are getting 2.5 points, And I think the Raiders team, and you've talked about this before, Wesley, I think they're going to be good. I think they're going to be much better than
I
people
agree.
think. And I could see the Patriots. I think they're going to be a decent team, but I think it's going to take some time. You talk about roster turnover. I believe Drake May's the only player remaining from the 2024 roster or something crazy like that. I like that as my upset pick. Raiders over Patriots. What do you think?
I agree with you 100%. I like Pete Carroll. I think he's got a few good years in him. I like some pieces of the Raiders defense. I like Ashton Gianti a lot. I think the Raiders are going to do what I said the Seahawks screwed up with last year. They're going to keep Geno Smith to throwing the ball 25, 26, maybe 27 times a game, and they're going to run with Ashton Gianti. And I think there's something there. I think the Raiders win this game outright, and we start asking questions about Drake May.
Yeah, hey, that's fine. That's a game again. Drake May. There's people like yourself that think that maybe he's a little overhyped, and everyone had their favorites in that draft class for sure. All right, let's go to the sneaky good matchup. So this is a game that no one's really talking about, but you think could be really competitive, could be really close. Which game are you leaning towards in this regard, Wesley?
It's it's a huge spread, but the Giants at Commanders and I'm a huge Jaden Daniels fan, but this New York Giants, they got the best defensive line in the NFL. They got the best pass rush. Their defense is going to be better than you think. Paulson Adebo going there for them is a big deal. That's a guy's a good cornerback. Um, and what the Malik Neighbors is a real wide receiver and put up great stats last year with no game plan or quarterback or anybody else on the offense that focus on. And if Russell Wilson can he can throw a deep ball, I mean, there's a few things he can still do, but if he can not turn the ball over, this can be a weird game. Again, Jaden Daniels, second year quarterback, the kind of pass rush the Giants can put up can mess with anybody, and especially a second year quarterback. So it's kind of interesting. And then this Commanders offense hasn't really played together. McLaurin hasn't been playing. Noah Brown not around the team is what we hear. There's a weird thing going on with him. So I'm curious what it's going to look like. This could be a 6.5 is a huge line for Washington when both teams are. I don't know. I think they're closer than that.
All right, so this is going to be for my sneaky good matchup. Obviously, I have a vested interest in this contest, but there's a lot of reasons why. I'm going to go Bengals at Browns. And the reason why is that, well, the Bengals, we know their offense is what they're going to do, but their defense is god awful. Maybe they change things up, but Joe Flacco is quarterbacking the Browns. The Browns still do have a decent defense, and Joe Burrow has historically struggled in Cleveland. If you look at you go throughout the course of his career, he just doesn't typically play well against the Browns in Cleveland. So I'm going to go there. The line is the Browns are getting 5.5 at home. And again, I don't know. I don't think the Browns can go toe to toe offensively, but I just want to see what the Bengals look like. I want to see, not necessarily the Browns. I think the Browns are going to be pretty bad this year, but I want to see if the Bengals, if they give up a ton of points to the Browns offense, man, that's not going to bode well in terms of easing the concerns of the Bengals fan base. Any thoughts on this game?
Yeah, I think the Bengals blow them out.
Maybe. But how many points do they give up?
I think I'm I do know that you're a big Flacco guy, and and I think that maybe, and I liked him last year, and I think it's impressive the things he's done the last couple of years when he's played. But this may be he may be one of the few quarterbacks running an offense that's going to make the Bengals defense look okay. I think they're going to be too hyped after this game, thinking that they might be better than they.
The total is 47.5 for this game. I swear, take the over.
Yeah, the Bengals are going to
There's
score
a
that.
chance they score 47 and 48 points. Who knows? But the Browns are going to score a couple. I mean, I think if
Yeah,
you're a bettor out there, take the over on early season Bengals games. They played their starters a lot in the preseason, so you think they're going to get off to a better start, at least offensively. You want to win some money, you take the over in this game. I mean, the over is minus 110, but it's not much movement either way. I like that. So
them and the Cowboys. I'm taking the over in their early season games.
They're
I think they
very
they know they
similar
got to
teams.
score. They
Very
got to
similar.
score.
Yeah. All right, let's go to you can only watch one. So if you had all the whole slate, prime time doesn't matter. Obviously, we're keeping our fan bias out of this. If you can only watch one game, which one are you watching?
Baltimore Buffalo. It's like you said, it's the culmination of the weekend. That Sunday night game, that's huge. Everybody's going to be watching it. Yeah, I'm glad that it's not competing with anything else. It's great. You got it. You got another one that's like, is there another one you'd pick?
Yeah, I mean, I do love the kickoff game. Like I just love that first game, and typically it's the home team that ends up winning. But there's going to be a ton of storylines. The Eagles hate the Cowboys more than any other team. I'll go with the Eagles Cowboys, but really my first pick was what you said. It was Buffalo and Baltimore for sure. Now let's go to the dud of the week. There's a lot of options here. Who is your dud of the week in terms of the game that you'd have to be paid to watch?
There are a couple that you're just like yes, I guess somebody does have to play. But the Tennessee and Denver game, I'm just not too excited about. I think Denver is favored by 7.5. Um, I think that Denver's going to have one of probably the best defense in football. I think that Cam Ward's even if I think he's going to be good over the season, but Tennessee has not built a team around him that's giving him a lot of hope. And I think this one's going to get real ugly real early. And after a quarter, you're gonna be like, okay, okay, I'm not even gonna. You're gonna take that one out of the corner box. What do you got? What's a game not to watch?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I think I know. I think I know
The
yours.
Carolina
'Cause
Jacksonville game
you
is
hate the
just,
Jaguars. I
oh
know
my
you do.
gosh.
You hate that division and you hate the Jaguars. I'm
it's
like,
it's bad, and I guess there's the Travis Hunter stuff, and everyone's going to want to see what he can do. And Bryce Young, like there's storylines. I could draw storylines out of every single game on this slate. Like I could seriously, as someone that follows the NFL, but there's you would have to say, Jeff, like I'm going to pay you this amount of money to watch this game. Like that's what it would turn into. I'll watch the highlights and see how it goes, but ultimately, there's not anything that's really drawing me to this game. You talk about Commanders Giants. There's a lot drawing me to that game for a lot of reasons. Even Bengals Browns. Like I could go down the slate, but this game,
I'm not.
ugh,
Listen, I've always in this segment talked about the lowest priced ticket of the
yeah.
it's the Arizona New Orleans at $39. So and that's week one in a football town
Are you going to be at
where
that game?
I'll be at that game. I'm gonna go to every first
You
game.
have good tickets
But
or
but
$39 tickets?
yeah, no, we're in a suite.
Oh, ooh, okay. Look at that. Big money. Big money. All right.
Yeah, FFSN put us in the FFSN suite. They were able to secure it.
Why don't I get that suite? What the hell's going on? I need to talk to
You don't
management.
go to games. You send 37,000 tweets during every
That's
60
right.
minute game.
That is
Yeah,
correct. And that's on the low end. That's on the low end of the spectrum,
yeah.
37,000. All right. So I wanted to keep the last few minutes of the podcast open to talk about other stuff that's going on in the world of sports, especially in the world of football. College football is a wrap from last week. And people are making some, yes, your LSU Tigers won. Congratulations.
ESPN is predicting that LSU should be number one when the poll comes
Oh my
out.
gosh, dude, it's week one. Like, calm down. That's what I was going to talk about. Like, people were burying Arch Manning because he did not look very good against Ohio State, but it's only 1 week, and Ohio
He's
State's
not
really
going
good.
to Pittsburgh.
I
Stop it.
don't, I'm
He's
not
not going
saying
to
that he
Pittsburgh.
is.
Stop
I'm not saying that he is. No, but seriously, like,
that.
don't you think it's a little early for people to be like all up in arms? Like, Notre Dame loses a really tough game to Miami. Yeah, that sucks. And you're definitely behind the eight ball now. But if anything was proven last year, it's that you still have a really good chance of getting into the playoffs. And then once you get there, who knows what happens. What was some of your takeaways from week one in college football?
One, definitely glad football's back. Obviously, the highlight of the weekend was LSU, beating Clemson
That's a
in
good
the fake
game.
Death Valley.
And
In the
LSU,
fake Death
hey,
Valley.
LSU got screwed out of that touchdown too. So I don't even think it should have been that
100%.
close.
100%. It's
I
terrible.
watched
It
that
was
play. It was like
awful.
I thought if anything, they're gonna call it like, okay, it's a touchdown. Is what it looked like. No, incomplete, incomplete. I wasn't planning on that.
Crazy. Football's back. Really happy about it. It's never a bad thing to see Notre Dame lose. We'll figure out. I like that now that we've won it. I like that we played a high ranked opponent early and got that out of the way and looked good. But I think defenses looked better than offenses really early on. You know, the I like Lenora Sellers, and I was really excited to watch him. And his final numbers look way better than what it was watching him play. His offensive line may be awful, and he there's some of the pressure he didn't handle. But I don't know. I'm glad that football's back. I'm really uh, I am going to be watching and caring about a lot of college football this year with these quarterbacks and who the Saints are
Same,
going to draft.
same.
Number one overall. Yeah, there's going to be 5 or 6 quarterbacks taken in the first round, so you guys will still have one available when it gets to it. So I'm I'm glad it's back though.
I will say this: I watched more college football than I usually do, and it just seemed uber conservative. Maybe I'm wrong, but I didn't watch these powder puff games where you have, a Division I school playing like, good sisters of the poor.
Did you
It's not.
watch Florida State Alabama?
That was a good. Yeah, that was fun.
Is Alabama over? Is it done or is it dead?
I don't know.
The dynasty's gone. It's
Is
all
it?
over.
Did it die with
I
Nick?
don't know.
I think when Nick Saban left, it died. Personally.
Hope so. I hope so.
Um, so for me, I look at it and I'm like, I watch these games, these high profile games, and it just felt so conservative. Like it's just, man, like I watched Texas and Ohio State, and it's like, aren't you going to let this guy try to win you the game? Like Arch Manning, I know he doesn't look good, but at some point you gotta like let him go, like put him on the edge and let him run, use his athleticism. I don't know. Maybe you saw something different.
No, that's normal. And again, I'll tell you, you will see the differences between the college and pro game. I know you haven't been a big college guy for years. There's definitely differences, and I think it makes you have a lot more respect for the fact that, like, one, you watch it and you go, oh, even in the NFL, there are not 26 good quarterbacks in the world, and you start seeing why it's these guys that are drafted in the third and fourth round don't make the roster.
Yes.
It's the 1% of the 1% of the 1%. Like it's talking about the guys that play in the SEC and then the 1% that make it to the NFL on starting rosters or have a 3-year career. It just doesn't exist. And you can see the difference. And like I'm used to it and I can filter out the difference between Saturday and Sunday. If you've not for years been watching it besides highlights, it looks like a high school game to you maybe again. So it's there's a great appreciation and love for it though.
Yeah, it's definitely different, but still
I just
none.
hate college coaches. I hate college coaches.
The coaches? Why?
And the way that just well, I hate Dabo Sweeney. That's,
What did he do?
oh, he's just they have to be more emotional for the kids, and it's just all this stuff, and it's too much for me.
I get it. I'm still an NFL guy, but I am warming up to
Oh yeah.
college football for a lot of reasons. So, all right, Wesley, man, you're going to be at the game, but let us know where we can get all your Saints coverage.
You can find me on X at who.wesley13, the or at Dome Patrol PCast, and you can find the Dome Patrol podcast on all of your streaming platforms. Jeff, how can we find you and your Steelers coverage?
Yeah, Steelers, Steel Curtain Network, obviously, wherever you get your podcast, steelcurtainnetwork.com. You can find me on Twitter or X at jhartman, HARTMAN_PIT, 37,000 tweets during the game Sunday. Check it out.
If the Jets win, can I get a post game a shout out in your post game?
Yeah, sure. Why not? But
Thanks.
if they win, I'm going to tell you to shut the hell up. So, all right. This has been a good first for your viewing pleasure. We'll be back next week to talk about week 2. Let's let the good times roll, man. Wesley, we'll talk next week. Take it easy.
See you, man.